Hey guys, FinalBoss here. Just wanted to spend a little bit of time to go over Thinkorswim, charting platform that I use, the secrets that I found over the years. Alright guys, today I'm going to try my best to remember how to set up Thinkorswim because the reality is it's been a while since but I can tell you with certainty that I actually use Thinkorswim for my charting. And there's a lot of actually cool things on here that a lot of people aren't aware of that I thought I'd help set you up to show you how to do it. Okay? When I first started in trading, I actually used Thinkorswim to do paper trading. There's actually some tips and tricks that I could show you, even at the beginning that I had to figure out as a. Okay, so one of the secrets, kind of right at the start, that you'll notice is there's a settings button here on the top on the bottom left. If you click on it, you can actually choose what kind of color scheme. I personally like the dark. But down here is the most important because if you're going to day trade or any kind of trading for that matter, you want to be like split second. You want to be able to fast. So I like to move mine to like at least the 64, and then I move it down to at least the 61. That's just going to make it so that it runs that much. Okay? Again, like you don't want any lag. You don't want to click on it and next thing you know it's a different price. It jumps on you or it goes. Okay? That's why it's so important you increase your memory. And it also depends on your computer too, so keep that in mind. Okay, so when you log in, you're going to see kind of like the default. You'll see that the default is set up this way, okay? If you look on the left hand side, they're just kind of cells where you can add whatever you want. You can add news there, you can add scanners. I personally have all my scanners there on the left side that I use, but I don't use that much anymore because I use a different platform. But we'll spend another video session to kind of go over how to set up your scanners. And the reality is it's probably good enough for the free version, especially when you're starting out. You don't want to spend anything extra for any like premium items when you haven't proved your strategy works yet. So again, we'll spend another video on how to set up scanners and things. So if you look at this chart, right? Look at it. It has basically too many things going on. Like it's not going to be easy for you to kind of navigate. The first thing I do is I'm going to click on right here. It's going to pull up like the settings. Okay. All right. So I'm basically the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to x-axis. If fit studies, no, you probably don't have to fit studies. And then at time axis. All right. This has a bunch of lines on every Friday. This also shows the year. Like you don't want to have all that. Okay, now it's gone. Right? All right. Then you're gonna click on appearance. I don't really like kind of like the gray background, so I like to switch it to black. Hit apply. All right. Some people like the lines and some don't. I personally like the lines because now that I've been doing it so long, I don't really draw a lot of important resistance lines anymore. Kind of having this guide kind of gives me an idea. Like for instance, I know, right here, I know, it bounces off here, bounces off here again, so I already know like the 1,000 line right here. But just having this guide, and some people like it, some people don't. If you want a really clean chart, I would suggest kind of take it. I don't mind it. It actually saves me time to have to draw out like important resistance lines. All right, the next thing I do is I'm going to click on equities. You see how this volume graph down here on the bottom? It doesn't give you enough information. It doesn't tell you if it's a red candle or a green candle. I'm going to delete that and we'll add it later on. Okay. What's important on here is you want to show these two things right here: extended trading hours and also extended trading session, so that you can actually see a pre-market and aftermarket. and that's really really important because you want to see what kind of things happen pre-market and after hours, so then you can plan out your day. So right now, we're looking at the Tesla 1 year, 1 day chart, right? So kind of give you an idea on after hours. If I move it to the 5-minute, 5-day, 15-minute, this is the after hours right here. This is pre-market. Yeah, this is after hours right here. This is in between the day. And if you want to scroll in, you just this button here. And obviously every tick here is 15 minutes. So this is 15, 15, 15 minutes. It depends on what kind of time frame you want to look at. If you go into one of my other videos, I recommend, depending on the style of trading that you do, whether you're a swing trader, a day trader, to what I recommend as far as time frames. And so check out my other video and you can see what I recommend. If you look on the right hand side, it's going to have the different things that you can choose from, right? You can choose news, you can choose level 2, you can choose dashboard. I mean, it's all kinds of things, okay? Just to kind of keep it simple, we're going to look at the chart, okay? All right, with the chart, obviously the most important thing, and this is a kind of a pro tip, is that volume. Volume is the most important, even more so than the chart that you see right here. Volume is the most important thing that plays in stocks because it could tell you what happened at certain prices. Okay? Not all these prices are significant. The only ones that are significant in the areas where it has a lot of volume. That means either there's a lot of back holders there, there's a lot of support there, there's a lot of distance there. If there's no volume, then it's not as relevant. Okay. All right. So as you can tell, we took out the volume bar at the bottom, so we want to re-add that. So how you do that is you're going to right click. You're going to click on studies. You're going to hit edit studies. Okay. So you're going to type in volume average. Add over to select it. Hit apply. Now you're going to see the volume bars at the now. You can, from what we just talked about just now, this is super important. The volume, it tells you how much volume actually happened at what interval, right? So since we're at the 1 minute, 1 day, 1 minute, so right at the open right here, there was a volume of 192,000 shares. So that's significant. It tells you a lot more of the story by looking at the volume. And we'll have other videos to talk about the significance of volume. This is more of a video on how to set up your thinkorswim. Okay? All right. So I'm going to right click again. I'm going to click on studies. I'm just going to show you how to add indicators. Okay. The one I use the most obviously is volume. I just highlighted that. The second one I use the most is VWAP. I only use it because a lot of people use VWAP. And I usually, if you click on this little icon right here, you can kind of choose like the different settings that have to go with the VWAP. Okay. I usually do yellow. Hit OK. Hit apply. Now I don't like the top one and the bottom. Okay. Some people do. I don't. So I personally, the upper band, which is this color right here, I don't. Same thing with the lower band, I don't fly. Again, it's up to you, okay? There's not one way to do it. I'm just showing you how I do it, okay? So there you go. So I have the volume at the bottom. I have my VWAP. The reality is there's other indicators that I have on my screen that I don't use as much, but I actually use the estimated moving average. The moving average, I do the exponential moving average. I do the 9, and you hit select again. I actually do the 20, and I actually do the 200. Apply. Now they're all the same color, so you don't want all being the same color. And you just choose whatever color. Again, it doesn't really matter, because over time, what ends up happening is you're gonna get. It doesn't really. Okay, there you go. So again, I personally don't use all these indicators that much anymore. Do I still have it on my screen? Yes. Do I use it like the be all. No, not really. I just focus more on that volume again. Not a video to go over all that, but something to consider is it's up to you what you find is important. Other people use other studies like uh, RSI and RSI. They use Bollinger Band. So it's just really up to you on what you want to do. Okay? If you want to exit out, you can. All right, just simple enough. All right, every time that I look at a chart of any ticker, I usually have 3 time frames. Okay, I also have 3 things at the bottom. You want to make sure that when you input here, that all these right here will also pull up the same symbol. How you do that is you see how the color coordination right here, number 1 is a red. If you click on here, you make all these red. Every time that you change it, all the reds are going to change to the same ticker. So if I did SPY right here, it's going to all switch to the same one just because it's the same color. Okay. All right. So what I generally do is I have one chart that is a daily chart, and 1 year isn't enough information. So what I like to do, I like to customize my time frame, and I'm going to add a time frame. I'm going to do 10 years. I'm going to do daily. I'm going to add it, hit apply, hit OK. When I click on it, I'm going to have a 10-year 1 day. That way it can go back even farther so I can tell any support and resistance that I may have missed. Okay? All right, so if you look at this chart, you're going to realize this chart looks totally different than the other one. What you want to do is you want to right click. You want to go down to style. You're going to set chart default. You can hit yes. Then you're going to go to each one of these. Style. Reset chart to default. You can do the same to all of them. Okay. Again, I have 3 charts here. Usually I'll have a long time frame. I'll have a shorter time frame. Then I have an even shorter time frame. And again, please refer back to the video where I talk about how to do support and resistance, because they'll give you some examples of the time frames that you should be using based on your type of style that you do. Then I have down here, I always have news. So if you look on the right hand side of this column, I go news, take out the chart. Then over here I have active trader. I also take off the chart. And over here I always have level 2. And I take off the chart. Alright, secrets with this right here. You click right here, you're going to be able to customize anything that you want to put right there. Okay. So you do, order template selector, order quantity items. So you just add it on over here, and then you easily click on it. You should really get used to kind of like inputting the amount of shares, because you want to know the exact amount you're risking per trade, and every ticker is different. So kind of have to do a little bit of math to kind of figure that out. And I also have another video that goes over position sizing on our channel, so please check that out as well. Okay, the closer you are to the price, it's going to pull up as limit. Okay, but the farther you are, it's going to do a stop instead. Okay, you notice here it becomes a stop. A stop just means that it's a stop buy. If it gets to that price, it automatically buys. Vice versa on the other end, if it gets to that price, it's going to automatically sell for shorting. And again, we'll do another video on what that means. Okay, but just to start, you can tell the prices. You can tell by the prices are here. what the bid size is. Somebody's bidding at 910. If you click here, you're also going to be adding on to that, and you're going to want to buy the 9. The farther you are, it changes. See, it changes from limit to stop. Okay. On the right hand side here, you're going to see level 2. So again, we're not going to spend a lot of time on means. Okay, so this is level 2 right here. I actually like to have time and sales up, and then from here I like to left click, and I like to group it by over 1,000. So when it pops up, obviously the market's closed, so you won't be able to see it, but it groups them by the large order so that you have an idea on which orders have gone through at a high price, because the little ones don't really matter. It's the big orders that do matter, aka volume. And again, we'll spend another video talking about that. Okay, but usually this is kind of what I have set up for my 3 different charts. I have quick access to any of the articles relative to the ticker itself, so I can click on that and I can go through all the articles. I have my active trader up, so I can do trading. I have my time and sales where I group up by 1,000 order, and then I have down here the level. And to kind of save space, I like to delete this right here. What I do is I hide showed sidebars. Okay. Now let me show you some cool tricks. Okay. Really, really important. When you first start out, you're not going to have a real-time quote. Real-time quotes is like as soon as it comes in that you're going to see the price right away. There's always a delay. In order to get around that, you have to put in at least $500. Then you have to go to support, or you could call in and you basically chat with them and you ask for real-time quotes. Okay. Super duper important. You add that, because if you don't, then while the market's open, there's going to be a delay. So you're not really there's such a big disadvantage of not having up to the minute or up to the second quotes. Okay. Once you ask the support team to add it, you actually have to go in here and you have to go to application settings. From here, you have to go to system. You have to click real time, no delay. Okay. So important that you do that. That's like a huge secret that I had to learn the hard way. So yeah, get that set up right away. Again, you have to have $500 in your account for them to turn it on. Okay. Another thing too is when you click on active trader, which is what you're using down here. You also want to move this down to 0 seconds so there's no delay. This one you're going to choose the lowest as well, so there's no trying to be much of a no delay. It applies settings. Another thing that's really cool that a lot of people don't know is if you click on chat rooms right here, and I actually do this quite a bit. I go to Benzinga Squawk, hit listen, and basically you're getting Benzinga Squawk like a podcast, and this thing is free with Thinkorswim. It's somebody that scans the market live on a podcast, and he calls it out live as things are happening. Like while you're looking at charts, you can see exactly. You can actually hear him talking about it. A lot of times, like he would call it out, and I didn't even know what was happening. Somebody did they had some new news that was going to skyrocket the stock. You can hear it in real time, or bad news where it can tank the stock right away, so you can get notified. And to get Benzinga Squawk right here, costs $177 a month. Thinkorswim actually has it for free. That's why it's so cool that it's included here that a lot of people don't know. I actually listen to this every morning. I click on it, I have it live, and I listen to it every morning. The next cool thing that I wanted to show you really is this one right here, OnDemand. I actually use this a lot. So when you click on here, it's gonna basically let you know, hey, this is a fake trading account, because it's not real time. Okay, so what I usually do is I like to go back into a certain day. Then you can just start playing it. And then it'll start playing. Alright. This is right at 6:32 in the morning. You can actually go back and see how it kind of plays out. Okay. Another cool thing is, like, let's say you're looking at a ticker that ran up a certain day. You wanted to kind of see what it did on that day. Let's say a stock went up 300%, and you looked at the prior last year, right around the same time, it did the same thing. What you would do is you put in the ticker, you would type in that day, and then you can kind of look to see what ended up happening that, so that you can have a better idea on what exactly happened, you know. So that you can plan around. Oh well, this ticker you did this on this day, so let's see if it's going to be a pattern. You know, so that's another way that you can go. One is to practice your craft. Second is you can check on what the chart did before, so you can formulate your plan today. I mean, there's so much advantage to doing this, you know. So I highly recommend you do the on-demand, so you can go back and just kind of practice. How would you do the order? How is it coming in? I mean, so many different things. I mean, the only thing is time right here. The time and sales doesn't show for the on-demand, but everything else works, especially the charts, how it plays out. Pull back and kind of have an idea on what happened that day, and so forth. Okay, highly recommend it. Well, okay, yeah, that's pretty much sums it up. I hope that I can show you a thing or two that you may have not known. Again, we'll make more of these videos. Consider kind of joining us on our Discord. We have 7-day free trial. We actually do this live every single day. You may enjoy it. We'll see.